Adamantium Shadow Poe!
Hello, Stargods. This is one of the bits of exclusive content that we make for you to thank you for being such a loyal patron for us. This will eventually be released to everybody else, but right now you are the special ones. You are the ones that get this extra little bit of comic insight and commentary from us. More commentary than insight, probably. But So yeah, we have threatened to do this for a while. My cat's making weird noises. I took them to the vet this morning. They got lots of shots, so they're unhappy with everything.
Yeah, might be feeling yucky.
Yeah, they don't feel so good. So we'll just have that in the background, which is charming. Yeah,
we tell them that I got my shots yesterday.
Yeah,
so I'm also feeling a little.
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, I got to do that too.
Nanobots.
Oof, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that 5G, man, it just feels good. It feels good when it's flowing through your veins.
It's almost outdated already.
It is. So
that is a pathetic yowl there in the
background. I know. Come on. What the hell? You guys are fine.
That's cute, but sad.
It is sad. Yeah, they're not happy. So, okay. We are going to be talking about the Saga of the Human Gargoyles, which ran through the Skywald magazines in 1972 and 73. I think, yeah, because Skywald didn't last too much longer after that, I think, right?
Well, actually, so it started in September of 72, and its last published appearance was Nightmare 23 of February of 75.
Okay, yeah, awesome. Okay, nice. Actually, I didn't dig it out, but I realized I have a hard copy of Psycho 9. The first first appearance of this. It's beat up, but yeah, I did. Yeah, it's I'm glad to have at least one of these. So yeah, this is a pretty well regarded story of Skywald. It's maybe the most well regarded, and it was written by Al Hewetson, and the first issue is drawn by De La Rosa. I can't remember what his first name was. Felipe, yes. Who's a Selecciones Ilustrada, one of the many.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, that was used for these. Let's see. And then our second artist is Maelo Cintron. Again.
He's Puerto Rican?
I think he is. Yeah, I don't think he's I think he's Puerto Rican and doesn't have a ton of credits. Just a few. Yeah. Which is, I looked on Jerry Bales on the comic Who's Who that had all those, and yeah, not a ton of credits. Not sure what GCD says about him, but at least in America, it didn't seem like he had a ton of credits.
Wow,
but
that's crazy.
Yeah, and and there's a big difference between styles. The first chapter is very hatchy and pencily, and the rest of the installments are very kind of have a photorealistic tint to them, which I actually think fits better. Weirdly enough, I liked that better than the first installment of this saga.
So we're not going to be covering this like super in depth because it's in the public domain. I made a PDF of it, like an omnibus of the whole storyline, and you can download it and read it yourself, and I think you should. But also, yeah, it's just, it's pretty well known. I mean, if you're into Skywald stuff, it's probably their most famous and beloved ongoing or serialized feature that they ever had in the Skywald books. So we're going to just talk about the themes, mostly the art, and just broad strokes about the entries, and kind of keep it tight. So, Jacob, you were saying like Felipe de la Rosa, his art was very different from the rest of the book. I did feel that this saga benefited from having one creative team throughout the whole. Mm-hmm. And while I really liked what De La Rosa did in the first one, it's very busy. Like
it's hard to look at.
It's kind of hard to look at.
Yeah.
It's hard to parse. Like there wasn't enough blacks for me. Like I felt like he chose cross-hatching and other methods of shading instead of like ink, like ink washes. And so it's really busy. and kind of threw me.
Yeah, I didn't like it at all. Like when I first was reading this kind of cold, I was just like, oh man, this is going to be hard. Because yeah, your eye just doesn't really know what's going on a lot of the time. And even if you really kind of stare at it, it just, I don't know, it didn't work for me at all. And so I was really happy that it went to a very simple style, really simple.
Almost the opposite approach to rendering these characters. Yeah. Again, we're not going to call out a ton of stuff, but like in the second page of this thing, when they're showing the cathedral, like when they're installing the gargoyles in the cathedral, there's like this, it is super detailed, like an old scaffolding and all these workers, and they have like medieval robes on because it's the 15th century, and they're pulling these gargoyles up on pulleys and winches, and like it's gorgeous and whatever, but it's like Jacob was saying, there's so little like shadow or so little like, I don't know how to describe it. Like your eye doesn't even know what to focus on.
No, it's like a big blob.
It's frustrating.
Yeah, it's a big mess that you just kind of your brain can't figure out what to. Yeah, it's weird. It's almost I've rarely ever come across a comic story that the art is impenetrable like this. Yeah.
It's, it does settle down a bit here and there, but for the most part, all the Stella Rosa art is that. So, to just keep this nice and tight, like, these gargoyles were erected, they stood, for centuries, and, the priests would come out on this, like, parapet or wherever it is, and they would talk, they'd discuss the Bible, they would have philosophical discussions, they would read Shakespeare, they would read all these different works of art, and for some reason that is kind of unknown, and Hewetson said that was intentional. He doesn't explicitly say there is a storm, and that is suggested that's what caused this, but they have sentience. But later on, way later on in the saga, the gargoyles said that's not what it was. Like, there wasn't God that bestowed this upon us. Our creators, we were conscious when the creator was chiseling away the rock to remove what shouldn't be there, like the sculpture of like Michelangelo. Like, weird. It
is weird. I mean, kind of in a cool way, like in a very Hewetson way. I mean, he had a real kind of strange flair sometimes for narration and story, but it goes. But then of course, Satanists show up.
It's the 70s.
It's the 70s, so yeah, they show up. Well, because the gargoyles are like discarded. They're just like thrown on a statue heap. It seems like because
why were they what replaced them? Modernism.
Oh, that's right.
A neon cross.
Oh God, that was a lot. That was a lot to take.
Yeah.
But then the Satanists show up, and the gargoyles seemingly at that point come to life. And start attacking, and
Were you? I mean, one of the first things I thought of when they were describing these centuries of sitting there sentient, I was like, Encanto. Mm-hmm. This is Encanto. Like,
it is Encanto.
You're just in a sarcophagus, just going. But at least they had philosophy. They were learning something that whole time. But
they weren't just in darkness.
Yeah. So I guess they're not. There's a reason why they're not stark raving mad, but still. Yeah, so something about this ritual the Satanists do bring them to physical life instead of mental life. And they start attacking, and then I like when they meet this blind farmer. Like, some of the stuff from Hewetson here is pretty broad and pretty obvious, but he says, I could use some hands here if you guys need to stay. He feeds them, he clothes them, and everything seems to be going okay until the Satanists find him.
Yeah, and every time in this book, man.
Every time. Yeah. Satanism just seems to be like fate, like just the hand of fate in this saga. Mm-hmm.
But the blind farmer, I expected, somehow at some point, one of them is going to be like, smoke good.
Yeah, totally. I know. It is a trope.
It really is.
At this point. I like the Satanist's answer. Like, they basically went and told their dad, like, hey, these things were mean to us. And he renders a thing called I. just the letter I.
Yeah.
And it looks like the flying spaghetti monster. Like it's just gibberish.
It is
visually.
It is visual gibberish.
Just tentacles, eyeballs, festering pustules, claws. It's weird.
But it's kind of Satan's trick. Like he just keeps kind of doing that.
Yeah.
Maybe one is a bigger tentacle, when they move. but yeah, it's odd. Satan's choices in this are odd.
Yeah. So, they kill the farmer. They told the farmer, like, tell us where they are and we'll let you live. And they blow his head off immediately. The gargoyles are angry. They've named themselves at this point. I believe when they're with the farmer, they name themselves Edward and Mina. Mm-hmm. And Mina asked, where do you get these names? And he said it was from, or someone did. And Edward says it's from books that were read by the priests. I Googled Edward and Mina. There's no reference to what they're talking about.
Nope.
Okay. I thought it would be something kind of like a famous couple or something, but so they're throttling the Satanists who killed the farmer friend, and then Mina pulls them back and says, you can't do that. There's enough hatred in this world, blah, blah, blah. We have a right to take a life. And so that is their mission statement. And so we're done with De La Rosa, and I'm happy too.
Yeah, I'm happy as well. We end up with artist named Maelo Cintron, and not a whole lot of credits. I didn't find out a whole lot about him. What did you find out about him? Anything?
Honestly, no, I didn't do a GCD thing into his credits. I just looked at stuff that I was hoping he'd done other stuff with Hewetson, and I want to save this till the end. I don't know if you found this, but there was something in the works that didn't come to fruition.
Oh, cool.
But we'll talk about the end.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, we switch artists, and it's like we were talking about earlier. It's a more photorealistic style. It's really simple style. It's not busy. It's the opposite of busy. But it's very cool. I liked it. I thought it fit the story, and I got real into the style real quick.
If someone hasn't had a chance to read this yet, Jacob, how would you describe Cintron's art? Anybody it makes you think of? It's like almost like Gray Morrow, but I'm just it doesn't fit much of anybody, honestly, for me.
No, it's like I think Gray Morrow is about the closest you can get, but it's almost like in between Gray Morrow and Alex Ross.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, because it's not quite, the uncanny valley of Alex Ross, which I kind of have a hard time with. But it's right in the middle. So it's kind of a sweet spot for me, actually.
Yeah. So like Jacob was saying, it's almost like photorealism, lots of washes, gray washes, lots of blacks. It was a break for my eyes, and I just love the art. And the writing is always interesting through the rest of the saga, but the art was always interesting and a treat to look at. So the next appearance was Nightmare 10, which was December of 72. And it starts off, I thought we'd almost missed a chapter because it's like recapping, and it's recapping stuff we haven't seen yet, but they have joined a freak show, right?
And had a son.
And had a son named Andrew.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, it's they've joined this freak show, and Satan shows up. I like that he shows up first with his hands on his hips.
Sassy Satan.
He's like, ta-da! But then, so he intimates, even though they say that he's a liar, he intimates that he had raped Mina and that he was the father of Andrew. But it says in the end, well, Satan is many things, but he's most known as a liar. So the
father of all
lies, the multi-minded monarch of filth, is first and foremost a liar. And so, he pretty much lied about that. And so, so does the freak show just blow up? Does everything just blows up?
Yeah, but before we move on, can I just say that the freaks that are in this show I laughed out loud. It says they stopped at a circus, one which boasted freaks, a fat kid, a giraffe lady, the frog-faced man, like a fat kid.
A fat kid, yeah, that's a freak show, you know?
And he literally is a fat kid. He's
just a fat kid.
Yeah, and I like this little, like, there's lots of stuff like this in here. It's a little obvious, like this, like, Judas betrayal. The Edward and Mina want to go into the village to procure some food for the baby and some clothes or whatever, and the carnival barker's like, "I'll take care of him, see?" Yeah. And then he's like, "Take care of him for money," and he's like, "Hey, everybody, freak show, $1. Look at this freak baby." Yeah,
it's a mustache twirling move for sure.
And this exposure draws in the Satanists, which, as Jacob said, are an ever-present threat. They're just always at the edges, dipping at the heels of our gargoyle family.
Yeah, and then everything blows up, and Satan's gone, and the gargoyles are reunited, and then I loved it. This is the point where the story turned in what I ended up thinking was a very interesting and kind of charming way, because you're like, oh, supernatural. And, but no, not at all. This is the point where it becomes an immigrant story, because I like it. They're arm in arm. They're like, America, see, that's where you can really make your mark. You can become whoever you want to be. And so they want to go to the new world, to the colonies.
So I think this is an interesting point to share this with you, Jacob. In this book, which Jackson was so cool to send to us out of print. One of the things, I believe Al Hewetson finished putting this together like a year before he died. Mm-hmm. So this came out like in 2004. I think he died in like 2004. But one thing he talks about is that he's a Canadian, but when he was writing, he would drive and he would go places, and every town he went to, he would just explore and get inspiration and write a story and then drive around. So he would drive thousands of miles and just write tons of stuff for the Skywald books. And so he said that particularly was the case with Human Gargoyles. Like, a lot of this stuff was him driving around the U.S. So we're going to see his experience in the South, his what he was inspired to write while he was in the South, Philadelphia. So I just thought that was interesting that he's not an American. So he's kind of telling the story of the immigrant experience to America specifically through these strange figures.
Because he's a Scotsman originally.
That's right. He was born in Scotland. He moved to Canada, right?
Yeah. So he definitely, is an immigrant himself. And that's so cool. I don't know. I mean, Hewetson's storytelling can be fractured and weird, but I love the fact that he's just like, nah, I don't pay too much attention. I'm just kind of, he just has this weird flow with his writing where he's not too concerned about connecting every dot, but his writing is alive though. And that's what makes it live and is interesting. We found that with the Shoggoth story as well.
100%. One thing that I noted, Jacob, tell me if I'm crazy. I feel like Cintron, I don't know if he settled into these characters through this saga or if he intentionally did this, but they evolve the way he renders them. And one of the first things where this happens is in this next chapter. They've jumped on a freighter. They're like in the steerage. I think they're eating garbage essentially in the bottom of the ship. They escape at once they get into port, they fly out and, so they're illegal. No person is illegal. So we clarify my language there. They're not documented immigrants. But first of all, before I get on to this thing, this splash page where it says only the strong shall survive. And you see this painted almost depiction of just people like with their hats down and the shadows over their eyes. That is one of the most beautiful things I've seen in a long time.
That's so cool. Like I just ended up in love with this guy's style by the end. But stuff like this. And he seems to depict them more erect, more upright, more human-like than I feel like De La Rosa did.
So another thing, starting with this chapter, their eyes are human.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like before they were like just like Batman eyes or whatever. It's just like,
slits.
Whatever, maybe slits. But now they're like wrinkles, irises, like pain, sadness, fear. Yeah. Like they're becoming human, which I thought was interesting. Once they came to America and became immigrants, they become humans, essentially.
Yeah.
Spiritual, philosophical sense.
Yeah, it's just this is the turn that this took. I was very enamored by, because the supernatural stuff is just, it's on the edges, and when it shows up, you're kind of just like, oh, that's right, I forgot. Like you kind of forget, because they're just obviously they're human, they're gargoyle shaped humans at this point, and yeah, but there's something about it. It starts in this chapter where they show up in Manhattan, and this is a story of an immigrant, and it's just them. Yeah, for the rest of the book, it's just them trying to fit in, trying to do this. But yeah, I mean, I know we'll get there, but I didn't expect like so much time in court, so much legal proceedings.
It's a courtroom drama.
But it's so funny. They're just like, oh, we're immigrants. I mean, I think they say illegal, obviously undocumented, but and they're just like, nope, we got to do it right. We got to get a lawyer. We have to go before a judge. Like, they take it all very seriously. And they just, Edward just keeps getting in trouble with the law.
Yeah. So, remember this first, does he first get in trouble for stealing bread? Or are we missing a weird supernatural encounter in the middle?
Yeah, because
there's a little person.
Yeah, because there's the little person. They're not stealing yet. I don't think, okay. But they run into they're still eating their scraps from the restaurant, and Edward's like, no. But then they end up kind of and they're a little person comes up and is like, oh, you can come to my place in the village. But again, they try to get the kid, and then the Satanists come back, right?
Yep. Oh wait, I'm sorry, he did steal, Jacob. He went out to get food, and he was being chased by the police, and when he was hiding in the alley, that's when the little person approached him and said he can hide in here or whatever.
Gotcha, there it is. One thing that I found, and you'll find if you read the PDF, is so many of these are 2-page spreads.
I know.
And you're just like, kind of like, it took a little bit. But I think, but this is the only way to do it, because if you switched it, it'd be too small.
I know. I contemplated when I got to this, and when I first realized on the first 2-page spreads, I was like, damn it, should I do this and change the orientation? But the art's so pretty, I didn't want to shrink it. Like, no. And
once you get used to it, then you're like, oh, okay. But yeah, the art is so gorgeous. You don't want it so small. It wouldn't render properly.
Yeah. So there's like one of these, he almost has like these, they're almost like trials, like that. So there's like a what is it? A tentacle, just an endless series of tentacles coming out of a hole in the floor. So weird.
Yeah, it's very weird. And so so he's destroying the tentacle, and then the cops come and get him. And
he's in court.
Yeah, and then we meet old Judge Martin Wallace, and then he's just like, I don't know what to do, I don't know what to believe, but I just don't know. You haven't committed any crime. You are guilty of petty larceny, and so he said normally you'd be deported, but this is a special circumstance, obviously. And then he's just like, okay, well, you have 90 days. This court will act on your behalf to the immigration board. And then, it's kind of like case dismissed, and he has to be back in court again. And then we end with another beautiful page of just like, just humanity, just kind of, it's all trench coat collars and rain and hats and just kind of, hunkering down in Manhattan. And really, really cool.
Yeah. Them among the people, right? Like the rain, the hunger, the whatever, the wanting has made them all equals.
Yeah. No, it's really
like that.
Yeah, it's extremely cool. Next chapter we have is from Nightmare number 14. It's in August of 73. I forgot how kind of, it gets, it's real spotty. I forget how kind of chintzy a lot of these covers are. Like some of them are just like,
I love this cover,
I like this one. But like a couple of the others, I'm like, oh man, this is this is not great. No, I love how
there's one with like a gill man that I just hate.
Yeah, there were two of these that I really hated. Yeah. And but so we jump right back in, And again, they try to looking for work. Again, is one of the biggest things. No one's hiring, or they're just like, oh, I have a family to support, and so he goes to work on a tugboat. And we get another
Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah, for Joe Bob Briggs. Basically is him. And then and again, this opening page of him just like kind of lashing stuff down to this tug. And the title of this one is, "And they did battle with the thing from underneath." And again, tentacles alive. What did you think of this thing? Like on the first 2 pages here, just like the panels that just look weirdly different and unfinished.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to make a lot of sense of that.
Yeah. You're talking about when they're around the table?
Yeah.
And yeah, I like it. I don't know why he did it.
I don't know why. I don't mind it. I think it's kind of cool, but I can't come up with a logical reason for it. And I think, again, with Hewetson's storytelling and stuff, you can't follow just pure logic in reading these things. They're slapdash.
Instinctual.
Yeah, but not slapdash. I mean, I feel like it is instinct. It's not being bogged down by trying to pay attention to every single little thing. And so I kind of liked it. I think that's a charm of the entire Skywald line.
But like you're saying, like there's this line drawing of the family hunkered down around the table looking for work. And then the panel below that, there's like MC Escher quality rendering of Edward talking to a potential landlord. And the landlord looks like he's like half finished. Like it's obviously he's not cutting corners, because I don't even know what is the medium he's using for that profile of Edward. Like I don't even know how he does it.
I don't know how he does it either. Yeah, it's a strange, like we're saying, in between photorealism and yeah, like a wash type of comic illustration. Yeah, it's really, really strange. But I do like it how he goes to find a place to live, and first the guy's like, "Good Lord." And then he's like, okay, I'm a man like you. We're human gargoyles. And then I like how this guy immediately is just like, oh, entertainers, right? With like a circus. Well, not we were once. He's like, all right, come on in. I'll show you the rooms. And then we get such a cool, that bottom panel is so fucking awesome, to where it says the weeks following are a period of adjustment for the three. Edward with his job, Mina and Andrew shopping, and certain other adjustments. And it's that blending of the two, to where it's just like a perfect kind of that photorealism wash they're doing to more of a silhouette, to back to just a more crude line drawing of something. I mean, it's obviously deliberate. Obviously, it's not like, oh no, I forgot to finish it. It's an artistic choice, and it's so strange and beautiful.
Mm-hmm. And just that choice to do Mina and Andrew like in blacks and use whites to just highlight them, like this photo negative effect.
Yeah.
It's so neat.
Oh, it's really, really beautiful.
Yeah. And so here's one of these trials I was talking about. Edward is plugging away at this for Joe Bob on this freighter, or not freighter. It's like a tug or something.
Yeah, tug.
And and then a giant tentacle pops out and wraps him up. And I forgot, why is Mina there and Andrew? Are they visiting him at work? They just fly in.
Yeah, they do just kind of fly in.
Weird.
Yeah, it is weird. But then he's just grappling with the next 2 pages are beautiful. It's just him again. It's all that strange middle style of his. And then it's just Edward, fighting with this tentacle, and he ends up lashing it to the tugboat, and he pulls on it, and it suddenly gets cut into pieces with the Statue of Liberty behind him.
That is probably the most. I mean, there's a lot of surreal stuff in here, but I love that image of him leaping with blue jeans on and work boots, but shirtless.
Belt. Yeah,
he looks so rad.
He does look great, but yeah, it's strange. And so we see all this, and then it switches to the Manhattan Daily Gazette. Thing battles tentacle in New York Harbor, and so it has a cool little. So they're becoming. This is another thing. the media is more and more aware of them throughout this saga. Every chapter, they become more and more kind of infamous.
This last page of this story, like, look at Edward's eyes. Like I was saying, they get more and more human the more they're settled into being alive.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And then, Once Upon a Time in Alabama is next, from Nightmare number 15 from October of 73. And this one, again, I'm glad you said that, because it's, you're right. This is Hewetson down south as as someone probably not very familiar with Southern racism, or at least didn't have to deal with it, And so, this is them going to Birmingham. And this one gets pretty brutal, It kind of just describes all the different, we hate these people, we hate these people. Like if the English hate the Irish, the Russians hate the Chinese. But I like at the end of that, he's like, down here, most people just don't like the blacks.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Who is it you don't like, boy?
Yeah.
Edward says, the bigots.
I know.
Love that.
There's a couple really great lines in this one. This one is very moving in a lot of places, which, again, you go into this thinking like, cool, this is going to be horror, this is going to be supernatural, but I never expected it to be an immigrant story exposing racism, being fairly moving at a bunch of different parts during this. Like, I get it. I get why this is kind of renowned in Skywald's run.
Yeah. So a black construction worker that's working with Edward falls from scaffolding, and he swoops off, reveals his wings, flies up and saves him. And then we're met with, what is this? The worker on the threshold? This is the anti-Edward?
Yes.
It's like evil gargoyle?
Yeah, I think so. But it's Satan, basically. Again, everything is Satan. So he just keeps coming at them in different ways.
And this is where he tells, there's like the dark night of the soul here. He tells Edward that Mina and Andrew were killed in a hail of bullets from a madman in a student riot. So he was just cramming every social issue you can put in here. So now he believes that his family's dead.
Which, him believing that his family's in peril kind of is a fake out a few times in this story, and gets him into a lot of trouble. But here he realizes, he's like, oh, okay, you guys are fine. Oh, what's going on? And Mina says the children of Birmingham are demonstrating for Brotherhood Week. And, and little Andrew's meeting some little kids, and they all, do have this Brotherhood March for freedom. And it's really beautiful.
Yep. I like that last panel.
Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Not subtle.
No, it's not. It's not subtle.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Next is Nightmare number 19 from June of 74. And this is, so they leave Alabama and they go to Missouri.
Missouri.
Yep. They're in Missouri. And, is this one? Okay. Yeah. They see the Liberty Bell.
That's right. They go to Philly.
They go to Philly. Now they're they see the Liberty Bell, and then they're like, oh, we got to go to court. That's right. So then this is the one where it becomes a courtroom drama, and the Human Gargoyles versus the United States of America.
Before that, when that page with the Liberty Bell on it, I mean, I like all these little weird things. Again, he's a Scotsman who moved to Canada, so he's maybe just admired America at this point in time. I don't know, but he says something like, what does he say? Oh, now it says, we have since our birth often questioned the laws of man and his society, but now in the presence of this symbol, I believe their good intent. And then that next panel looks like a hip hop album.
It does.
Like strutting towards the camera. And then you get one of those, on the next page, you get one of those things we were talking about where it's just line drawings, no inks.
It's like, is it a
photo?
Is it a transition?
In that world?
Is he just like, fade, and then
like a fade in to the courtroom scene?
That's
a good,
makes a little more sense to me. I didn't really think about that until now, but then they're in court, And I love the tiny little inset of him and Andrew, and little Andrew just like stocky, just sitting in the chair, just like my daddy's like in court. He does. He looks so serious. And and again, the press is there, and they're like, "Oh, okay, this is what's going on here." So they're kind of figuring out like these are human gargoyles, and they're trying to get their citizenship. So, yeah, and again, like you were saying, they ask him why he wants to be a citizen of the United States, and he believes in the dignity of the individual. No other constitution in this world promises the freedom guaranteed in yours. And so, yeah, the judge is just like, well, you have disrespect for our laws. You entered the country illegally. There are these constant street battles with inhuman monsters of the most macabre origin. And yeah, he's like, well, I had no other option. We had to come here. I saw no alternative to enter it illegally. Then he's like, yeah, but I've been working. My family, we toured the eastern and southern states to kind of understand what America is. And he's like, I will forever live by the laws of this country.
Frank Capra should have directed this,
right?
this episode.
Seriously.
Mr. Smith.
But then again, and then the judge is just like, all right, well, if you can keep your nose clean for the next 10 years, you'll be a citizen. And so he's like, oh, Judge Wallace is a good man. This is great. And Judge Wallace is like saying hi to Andy. And then, yeah, they go down the steps, but oh no. And yeah, the stone lion seemingly comes to life. And, it's Satan going, doing his little deceiver thing. And so, Edward fights with the stone dragon and destroys it. And then the cop is like, hold it, mister, what's going on? And they realize that, he's just been fighting a statue and destroyed this statue that was some kind of, it was a public library lion. Yeah. That was beloved in the city. And so most of the most prized cultural artifacts of Manhattan.
It was in Ghostbusters.
It basically was. And so, they destroy it, or he destroys it. And he's like, oh, I thought it was coming to life. Like he's like, we saw, but you've committed a serious crime now. So you're going to be in jail before you're brought before a judge. Hopefully me. But if not, may God have mercy on your wretched soul.
It's kind of funny that they spent 500 years listening to philosophy and priests talk about nature of good and evil, and they still haven't figured out when Satan's manipulating you.
Yeah, no, they're a little little on the innocent side there.
Did you notice that Cintron drew himself into when Andrew's climbing on the lion, saying "Horsey, giddy up," and there's him in the background, like doing art?
No, I didn't.
He appears later too.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
So he's the judge says, all right, fine, you can be a citizen, just whatever, keep your nose clean, and then instantly in jail. Why is there a blank word balloon on the last page of this chapter, Jake?
I don't know. I didn't understand that either. Yeah, that seems like that might have been
mistake.
That might have been a mistake.
Because Wallace on the next panel is like, yes, I know, Edward. I believe you.
Yeah.
So something got missed. So then we are on to what? Psycho 20 from August of 74?
Yep.
And so he's in jail. Again, this Dark Night of the Soul goes on. He gets a visit from his wife and son. No touching. Made me think of Arrested Development.
I know, right? Are you hearing a? Well, it just stopped.
It might have been me tapping my foot. I might have been hitting a cable or something.
Okay. Sorry. Go on.
Sorry about that. No, it's good. I'm glad you glad to know it was audible. So they get a visit, and he gets to get out on bail, hopefully. And this cop looks a lot like what's his name from Andy Griffith's show?
Barney Fife?
Don Knotts, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
He does.
Am I crazy?
But, especially in that little porthole.
Yes, that's what I was talking about. Sorry.
Oh yeah, 100%. But yeah, now he's in jail, and so they go to a restaurant to Mina and Andrew go, and they meet Paul Hawkins, who's a reporter for the Gazette, and
he's also Al Hewetson.
He is Al Hewetson, and
his friend is Cintron.
Yeah. And yeah, he's just like, oh, I know a way he can convince the American people of his innocence. And he's like, by writing an autobiography. And then, he goes to and is talking to Edward. And Edward is just, it's kind of sad, but he's just like, I don't even know how to write or read. Like, I can't sign my own name. And so at first I was just like, oh no, he's just going to get swindled. This is Satan. But no, this is Alan Cintron being like, hey, we're gonna help you. And so so Edward tells him everything, told him his beliefs, persecutions of Satan, and all that. And then there's a whole other thing to where who is this? This is the guard saying this?
Yeah, the guard says, yeah, we've been trying to call your wife all day, but she's not answering. And so he immediately is like, oh my God. And he breaks out of jail.
Punches a guy, punches a few guys, breaks out of jail, gets shot. There's
some insanely good art in this whole sequence here with like negative images and just wild stuff. Like, he gets winged, like you said. Guard's like, have you had enough? He's like, no. And jumps up, punches him, escapes from jail, finds Mina and Andrew. And she's like, no, I got a job at a daycare. So Andrew's safe and playing with other kids, and I'm making us money while you're in jail. He's like, damn it, Satan.
Well, and he blames Satan. I'm just like, I don't know, dude. I think this was you.
Yeah,
I think you just kind of flew off the handle. I love that last panel on this chapter of him being taken away in his tattered shirt and
ravaged Edward.
Yep.
Yeah, Satan gave my wife a job. That's what he did. Anyway, it's just a couple chapters left, huh?
Yeah, we're into Nightmare 20 from August of 1974.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it is a good one. And so
one of my favorites.
Yeah, so back in courtroom drama yet again. But then, the judge, this was lucky he got off. He punched a couple of cops. Yeah. But still is just like, all right, I know you mean good, so don't let me see you in here again, kid. And then
there's good news though.
There's good news because suddenly Gargoyle is hot off the presses and is selling a ton of books.
The cover of the book is a panel from like a couple chapters ago.
Yeah.
When I said, look at his eyes.
And it's published by Skywald.
By Skywald.
Yep. And then it's like, oh, you're a rich man. And they're like, oh, you get 10% of a bestseller. And they're like, oh, you're going to first royalty check of $10,000 and you're going to make a ton more. You'll be a millionaire. And
so can I ask you something?
Yes.
Who is Waldom? Is that Herschel Waldman?
Yeah, I would think so.
Okay. Just guessing.
Waldom. Yeah. But then, this is my favorite part of the saga, yours too. He goes on the Tonight Show, the actual Tonight Show. It's Ed and Johnny.
They got Ed, man.
They really got his character. I love his little asides, like South Bronx.
Stone earmuffs.
Hey yo, yeah. Oh, it's great. And so they, Johnny is asking like, "Oh, you talk about Satan a lot. Like, is it real? Like real Satan?" And it was like very serious about it. He's like, "Yes, real Satan."
And then,
to
prop him up,
Satan shows up.
Satan shows up
as
a gargoyle. He says, "You're an imposter. I'm the real Edward." Yeah. So we have like that whole classic trope of like the two Spider-Mans pointing at each other, like that meme.
Yeah. But then I love Johnny's face when he's like, "Is this a publicity gag?" You can tell it's almost like he's knocking his cards on the desk, just being like, "Hold
tap,
on."
tap, tap.
Yeah. But then Satan shows up and they fight. And I like that. What is it the Satan says? In other words, what are you saying? In other words, monster, shut up! And delivers like the killing blow. And then suddenly, the Satan version of the gargoyle's dead. And somehow this convinces them of everything. Because I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, but Johnny, after seeing this, he's like, I believe it, Satan. You were right all along. And only one could win, the real human gargoyle. And then at the end, he's like, now everyone knows I am innocent.
Yeah, that was easily the most surreal part of this whole thing.
It is. It was just like, okay. I mean, I liked the doppelganger showing up, but then just him killing the doppelganger is just like irrefutable proof that it was Satan all along.
Yeah. For some reason, the courtroom stuff and the Carson show were just like, I enjoyed those the most.
Because they're so weird. They're so surreal. But then, they get Mina and Edward are reunited, and she's like, oh, well, everybody knows we're the victims now.
And then a lady's reading his book, and she's like, oh my God, I'm reading your book. It's amazing. You're just so cool. Will you sign this, please? And he says, I never learned how to write. I can't even write my own name. Ugh. And then later, this is a sad little moment. I love the silhouette thing with like all the mist and the grays. He says, I've never been so embarrassed, Mina. Do you realize how little we really know? Do you realize we're illiterate? So he wants to get a proper education.
Yeah.
And they also, go ahead.
Oh, go on. I was just like, okay, now they're going to school. Yeah.
And the book sales have translated into enough cash to buy a castle in New England. Mm-hmm. So they don't get homesick.
Nope. The Gothic castle. And that's going to be their dorm when they go to college, I guess. have a college experience now. But in the end, Satan, I like that. We are nearing the climax. He says, since the day of their birth, they have never won a battle with me, though they think they've won them all. It is all part of my plan. Only now coming to its ultimate climax.
So that's probably Hewetson going, I didn't really do a great job with these trials and the way Satan's attacking him. I'm just going to say, no, I'm playing 5D chess.
Yeah.
This next move is going to reveal the whole thing.
And, maybe if this series had continued, it would have it would have made a lot more sense. But, this is the final one, and they're in the castle. Women's Lib shows up again. I'm just like, all right. I love just the offside.
Hold on.
Okay.
We gotta talk here before we start this. I don't know what Cintron was doing at this point in this final installment, but he decided he was trying to make everybody horny for Mina because she has full on nipples and she is curvy as shit.
She's just naked.
Yeah. She's just a naked lady with a bird head.
I know. It got real adult real fast in this one.
Yeah.
Which is also funny that they bring up Women's Lib. And it's so funny. It's such a awkward conversation. Edward's just like, have you been reading anything on the women's liberation movement? Seems to be very popular. What do you think about women's liberation?
It's probably a good thing for women who aren't liberated.
Yeah. And then there's a sex scene, basically.
Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. And we get one of those... even though he's not Spanish, remember we were talking about those eyes when it's just the eyes from whatever that, I forgot what it was. Oh, the Weird Tales.
Yep.
Yeah, this kind of impressionism. That seemed to just be kind of stylistic at this time in the 70s, I guess.
Yeah, and then we go into our final chapter, chapter 9, the Human Gargoyles versus the Human Dead.
This Satan, to me, it looks like Kabbalah from...
from
Golem?
Yeah, from the Golem. Yeah. Oh, he totally does. That's awesome.
So he has a whole page where he just pontificates.
Oof.
And talks about his battles and how he's been playing 5D chess, and this is his final move. And then his big thing is to resurrect all of the dead bodies from the neighboring cemetery and have them attack Edward and Mina.
Yeah.
And this seems pretty dumb. But we see a cool zombie sequence where they come into the house and they're lurching, and you get to see a cool battle. Mina's crying while Edward's punching them. And the the end outcome here, once they make fairly short work of all these corpses, is that Andrew is gone.
Yeah, Andrew is kidnapped, but before he got kidnapped, thank God, Edward took him to A&W for a float.
For a root
beer. And I like that Edward says, while you were food shopping today, I took Andrew for an A&W root beer. And yeah.
Nobody uses words like groceries anymore.
Yeah, no, it's food shopping. That's the way I say it. But yeah, it ends with Andrew. Dear God, Edward, he's gone. Andrew is gone. And then the next chapter was to be called Kidnapped. But that's the end. That's the end of the saga.
Yeah, and we do get a teaser after this. It's a painting that Cintron did some work on, and it was going to be the Human Gargoyles Saga. So I read some more from Hewetson. His plan was to, when they did these recurring things, they would collect all of them in like a annual type of thing, an omnibus, and sell them. And this is going to be the first one. There was going to be Monster, the werewolf story, and there was going to be the Shoggoths.
Yeah.
But they folded before all that happened.
I don't know why this made me laugh so much, but I like it at the bottom. This isn't exactly 100% what the cover will look like. It's very familiar. He's just like, hey, bro, this might not be it. Yeah, I thought that was, which is good because the cover would kind of suck if that was it. So I'm glad it's not going to be exactly 100% what it's going to look like.
Yeah. So the thing I wanted to mention, Jacob, was that we don't know, this was intended to go on. Unfortunately, it didn't. But there was something called Gargoyle Justice. And I've seen a painted cover for it. And it's someone that looks almost like Edward, but it's Andrew, grown up. And he's a U.S. Marshal. And he's holding a gun.
Oh, my God.
On the cover. And it was supposed to be a modern Western.
Oh, how fucking awesome would that have been?
So... yeah, Andrew gets recovered. His parents live and die. He grows up and joins the Marshals and is a modern-day cowboy. I want to visit that world where that was published.
So he's like Walker, Texas Ranger, I guess. So that's cool. Yeah. I would love that.
He looks the cover looks badass.
Oh, man. That's a shame.
Yeah, it is a shame. So, yeah. Final thoughts on this, Jacob?
I really enjoyed it. I loved the ridiculousness of it. I loved that it became an immigrant story that until the end, until like the zombie, like that became like a normal Skywald story. But before that, Satan is very just like on the edges and just kind of shows up and is like, bah! And then, but nope, it goes back to being a story of immigrants trying to make it, a story of Edward in and out of jail and in and out of courts. Becoming an author. This reminded me of why Skywald is great and why Hewetson is great. And unlike any other author, like we were both saying it earlier, he has a creative flow that he doesn't overthink and he just goes with it. And it's charming. It's fun. I like that he puts himself into the stories. He loves to put himself in the artist in the stories. It's just great. It's a great read. So I understand why people love it because I loved it.
I really enjoyed it too. It's like you were saying, it's so un-Skywald that I just found it not so un-Scream, so un-Psycho, so un-Nightmare. Like it apparently just got tons of fan mail. People loved it. And it kind of surprises me that people did. People who were buying this magazine. Because it seems like it's a little more, I don't know, a little more experimental. I guess.
It's more experimental and more highbrow than I think a lot of this stuff is. Yeah, just a weird story to tell.
Yeah. So I guess my final thoughts are, I really enjoyed it. It's nice to finally read it after reading about it for so many years. But, some of it's a little sentimental, some of it's a little on the nose. All those things are true about it, but I found it utterly charming. And all the monster stuff was fun. Like you said, it's weird lurching between an immigrant story and this kind of nuts and bolts, like what it's like coming here and starting over, and then tentacle climbing out of the ocean and wrapping you up. So yeah, it was silly. It was strange. It was touching. It was surreal. Love Cintron's art. Love his art. So yeah, I was oddly affected by it. I thought it was charming.
Me too. Like I read it twice and I really, really enjoyed it. And I just, I was very moved by it. It was very, I did not expect it to be this. And yeah, Cintron's art was incredibly cool. So no, I had a blast reading this. And yeah, Matt, like you said, Omnibus PDF is in our Google Drive for patrons and pack members and Stargods, but it's also just everywhere, right? Like you can just go to Internet Archive, or you can just, right?
Yeah, it's just not all collected. You have to kind of Google the chronology and find it yourself. Yeah, and again, if you do download our PDF of it, just remember that there are several 2-page spreads, particularly the 3rd and 4th, I think, chapters, and you're going to be confused until you realize that. And you have to kind of do the top page, go to the next page, read the top, then go back to the previous page, read the bottom. You know, you'll figure it out, but I think ultimately it was a good call not to. You know what I should have done? I might make a new version that has combined pages, second page, so people can see what it looked like all together, but I don't know.
I guess once you figure it out, it's fine. Like it's not, once you figure it out, then you're like, oh, okay. That's not that bad. Just moving back and forth through the rows.
Also, I think if it's formatted for like CBR or something on archive, a lot of times they do that side by side. Or if you have a reader that lets you do side by side, that would solve that problem.
Yeah.
But didn't think of that. I think you can do that in most PDF readers. You can select 2-page spread. Mm-hmm. So never mind. I'm not going to do anything. You guys
don't do anything. It's great.
Okay. Right on. Well, yeah, cool. Glad we did that.
Yeah, me too. Let us know what you think, and let us know, what you thought about Human Gargoyles. And leave us a comment. I'm curious what everyone who will read it and what everyone thinks of it.
Yeah, I'm really curious about our people in our audience, what they think of it, because I can see not everybody loving it.
Yeah, I definitely can. But also, I don't know. You and I are dialed into the Skywald weird charm at this point. Yep. And so, we love this stuff at this point. So.
Yeah, I mean, I know, same thing with like Hard Day's Night versus Help. I know Hard Day's Night is a better film.
It is.
I kind of like Skywald more than I like Warren sometimes, just because of the raw weirdness of it. Like Warren's more classical and like, A-list top shelf stuff. And so sometimes I kind of like going down and getting the stuff from the second and third shelf. Yeah,
I do too. I like Skywald more and more. Because, you're right. Once you realize Warren's top shelf, it's A-list. And there's incredible stories being told. But sometimes you want fast food.
Well, Eerie Publications is fast food. This is, I don't know. Something in the middle.
Fast casual, as they say. So this is Chipotle, basically.
It's not fast food. It's fast food. Or it's good food quickly.
It's good food quickly. Yep. This is Chipotle, and Chipotle's great.
Yeah. All right, folks. Thanks for supporting the show. Hope you enjoyed that little gift from us.
Yeah, definitely. We loved making it. So thank you again for your support.
Cheers.
Woo!